The old man struck a match against the large rock on which he rested. He brought the flame to his pipe and puffed the tobacco alive. The amber glow illuminated his aged face in the darkness. Stillness in the night. Stars burned bright in the clear sky above him. This was still God's country, no matter how much evil he'd seen in his day. He looked at his sprawling farm that stretched out into the abyss. He was grateful that he couldn't see much. He had let his land go to shit as of late. Puff, puff, puff on the pipe. Plumes of smoke twirled to the heavens. The house where he'd spent the last 40 years stood about 50 yards to his back. He did his best to ignore the sounds coming from it. He chose to focus on the constellations. He recognized the usual celestial suspects: Orion with that damn belt, that little red thing they called Betelgeuse, the Big and Little Dippers. They'd been up there his whole life, and he'd just now taken the time to marvel at them. A rhythmic trot approached from behind. Buck, his bloodhound. The large dog stopped at the old man and began pushing him with his snout. The old man took a break from the stars and embraced his worried dog. "It's okay, Buck," he said as he wrapped his arm around the loyal companion and gave him a few pats. The dog whined regardless. "I'd give you a puff to steady your nerves if you'd have it," the old man said as he angled the pipe toward Buck. The dog sneezed and backed away. "It's not for everyone, I'll give you that." Buck shook it off and lay on the grass beside his master's rock. A door slammed within the house behind them. Buck looked up at the old man and let out a muffled cry. "Just look up at those pictures in the sky, Buck." He pointed with his pipe to Orion. "That one right there is said to be one of the fiercest hunters the world has ever known. You should respect that, old buddy. If he'd had you and that nose of yours on his side, he'd likely to have not left any game for the rest of us." Buck's eyes darted from the old man to the pipe to the stars. His floppy ears perked up at the sound of glass breaking behind him. He let out a whimper as he shuffled his body on the earth. "I hear it, Buck. I do." The old man refused to turn around. He thought about the knife tucked away in his overalls and wondered if it'd be better to put Buck down now or let him run the farmland free, fending for himself. He concluded that the old bloodhound was wily enough to get by without him by now, and ruled the case closed right then and there. The old man stood up and felt that his ass had gone numb. Buck followed suit, snapping to attention. The old man stretched his aching body as best he could. He took a final puff and then sat the smoldering pipe on the rock. "Reckon it's time to put an end to all this," he said, looking down at Buck. "I want you to stay right here, old boy." Buck cocked his head sideways. "Now listen to me, you stubborn son of a bitch. No matter what racket you hear from that house, you stay your ass right here. I know you're itching to chase whatever it is that's in there, but it wouldn't do any good. It'd just get you killed." Buck stood motionless. "Lie down." Buck did. The old man turned and faced his home. One of his eyes twitched, and his palms began to clam up. He couldn't count how many times he'd faced similar situations, but this one was different. This was his home. "Say, Buck," he said to the dog lying beside the rock, "if I don't call for you by sunrise, go ahead and eat one of the chickens. Drink from the glen up yonder. You know what to do." Buck tucked his head between his paws and closed his eyes. The old man began taking steps toward the house. He spoke as he walked. "Dear Heavenly Father, I pray that you be with me in this time of darkness. I pray that you remove this fear from me and replace it with your love and your warmth."
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.